I am Binoy Joseph, Faculty of Social Science. Today we are going to discuss about the chapter 7, India after independence. Now, when we are talking about this chapter, the main concept in this chapter is integration of princely state. When we are talking about this integration of princely state, there is a huge mammoth problem when we are getting freedom. That was how we can integrate it around more than hundreds of princely states. At that time, when we are getting the freedom, a person called Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, now at that time he was the union minister. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he was the union minister, and his secretary of the state, V.P. Menon, both made an act called it as instrument of accession. And according to this, they made diplomatical talks with the princely states, around 600, and at last they said, we are going to give you time limit, or otherwise we will go for military strike. More than 99% the princely state merged in Indian Union, but three states like Junagadh, Kashmir and Hyderabad still reluctant to part of Indian Union. When we are talking about princely state annexation, there is an important point we have to study, that is what we call it as instrument of accession or instrument of accession. Now what is it? According to this law, three important things had to be in part of India. When we are going for the princely state concept, they can rule, but they had to give the rights of these three things to Indian government. The first one is the defense, second one is the external affairs, and the third one is telecommunication. But still these three princely states reluctant to do that thing. Afterwards, they met with these people and Kashmir joined to Indian Union. Still Junagadh and Hyderabad were reluctant. Due to the aftermath of military strike, they also been joined into Indian Union. Now the second thing is, list the territory of France and Portugal. The France having Pondicherry, Karaikal and Mahi and Yanam in 1954, and Portugal having Goa, Daman and Diu. Now the second important thing is that achievements in the science and technology. When we are talking about the post-independent era, having a major achievement in science and technology. When we are talking about science and technology, major concept is Jawaharlal Nehru. The major concept is, under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, we achieved lot of achievements in science and technology. The establishment of several research institutions like CSIR, ICAR, ICMR and councils headed by H.J. Baba and S.N. Bhatnagar. Now when we are talking about H.J. Baba, he was the head of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and Indian Atomic Energy Commission. World Class Engineering Institute, IITs, ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, 1969, they launched the first satellite from Trivandrum, Tumba. The satellite Aryabhatta. Then we developed missile technology. These all things are the development of what we call it as science and technology. Now, when we are talking about the third concept, education, we are having three important education commission. One is Radhakrishnan Commission, start professional educational institution, give emphasis to women education, form the University Grant Commission, that is UGC. Then Lakshmi Swami Mudaliar implemented three-language formula, formed Secondary Education Commission, established multi-purpose schools, formed a council for teachers training. Third one, the last one, the most prominent one, Kothari Commission implemented 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern of education. Starts vocational education, focused on value education. Now we are going for the national education policy focused on primary and continual education in 1986, launching Operation Blackboard, giving more facilities, basic facilities to the schools, starting Navodaya Vidyalayas. Now, when we are talking about the new policy on education, we are having a fundamental changes in the new educational system, and we are giving more importance to primary, secondary and higher education system. Then the last one, India's foreign policy. When we are talking about the Indian foreign policy, it is been under depth with the Panchashila principle. And when we are talking about the Panchashila principle, it is in between India and China. On that concept, we are taking all our foreign affairs with this concept of Panchashila principle. Main principles of Indian foreign policy: resistance to colonialism and imperialism. The second one is hostility to racism, peaceful coexistence, trust in the United Nations organization, and I already mentioned the Panchashila principle. More emphasis on necessity of foreign assistance, policy of non-alignment with any country. We will be still with one itself. Now, what is meant by Panchashila principle? The Panchashila principle are the agreement signed by the India and China in 1954. This is all about today.